Fiora was known throughout the land as the greatest duelist to ever grace the fields of justice. She was a woman of unrivaled skill, grace, and beauty, with a sword arm that could cut through steel and a mind as sharp as the finest blade. Her reputation had been hard-won through years of training and battles, and she had become a symbol of excellence and honor among the champions of the League of Legends. Fiora had grown up in the city of Damacha, the daughter of a wealthy noble family. From a young age, she had shown an aptitude for combat, and her father had hired the finest sword masters to train her in the art of dueling. As she grew older, she had begun to participate in local tournaments, quickly making a name for herself as a prodigious talent. But it was not until she entered the League of Legends that Fiora truly became a legend. Her first few matches were a flurry of steel, her opponents falling one after the other as she danced around them with graceful, deadly movements. She quickly rose through the ranks, earning the respect and admiration of her fellow champions and the adoration of her fans. But with fame came jealousy and rivalry. Other champions began to challenge her, seeking to dethrone the queen of the dueling ring. Fiora accepted every challenge, eager to prove her superiority and maintain her status as the undisputed champion of the league. It was during one such match that Fiora faced off against a newcomer, a young woman named Leona. The crowd was buzzing with excitement, eager to see if this upstart could defeat the reigning champion. The two women stepped onto the battlefield, their swords gleaming in the sunlight. The fight was fierce and fast, each woman darting in and out of range, searching for an opening. Fiora was confident in her skill, but she soon realized that Leona was a force to be reckoned with. The young woman was quick, precise, and relentless, and she had a strength and determination that belied her small frame. Fiora began to feel the pressure mounting. She had never faced an opponent like this before, one who seemed to know her every move before she made it. She tried to adapt, to change her tactics, but nothing seemed to work. Leona was always one step ahead. As the match wore on, Fiora began to feel a sense of desperation creeping in. She knew that if she lost this match, her reputation would be in shambles. She could not let that happen. She drew upon every ounce of her skill and experience, searching for some weakness in her opponent's defenses. And then she saw it. A split second where Leona's guard faltered, a tiny opening that Fiora could exploit. She launched herself forward, her sword flashing in the sun, and struck with all her might. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. The crowd held its breath, waiting to see if the blow would land. And then, with a loud clang, the swords met. Fiora's blade had been deflected, Leona's parry too quick for her to cower. And in that moment, Fiora knew that she had been defeated. She felt a surge of anger and frustration, knowing that she had let down herself and her fans. But as she looked at Leona, she saw something in the young woman's eyes that gave her pause. It was a look of respect, of admiration, of understanding. And Fiora realized that this was not a defeat, but a lesson. She had grown complacent in her victories, relying too much on her skill and reputation. But Leona had shown her that there was always room for improvement, always new challenges to face and conquer. The end.